I am so excited to have all of you with us today. We have a very special guest. His name is Gabriel Ato. He is a Harvard graduate student as well as an Oriental Orthodox Christian. And Gabriel, if you will, would you just introduce yourself to our audience today?
Yeah, my name is Gabriel Ato. I was born and raised in Iraq. I came to the States when I was 25. Um, I am Aramaic by ethnicity. Specifically, it's called Syriac. And those people are the immigrant Aramaics from old Israel to other parts of the world. By denomination, I am an Oriental Orthodox Christian, which we are considered actually the oldest Orthodox existed on this planet yet. I'm doing my PhD in religious studies at Fordham University, and hopefully I'm going to be done with the graduate certificate at Harvard next semester or the one after.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. And I want to ask you a question that I love to ask people that I interview, and that is, how has your faith transformed you?
I would say, especially my Oriental Christian faith, I had a long journey, of course. I'm 34 right now. But if I want to put it in few words, I would say, once I was dead and now I'm alive.
That's beautiful.
I mean, faith would give you purpose, would give you hope, would makes you a person who dare to love, I would say. Yeah. You have this dareness, this boldness to love. Before, you would be really hesitant to do or to take this step with anybody or everybody, I would say. So this is.
Well, I love your story. Gabriel and I were introduced. We both are community college teachers at this point, professors. We teach in religious studies, and it has been a joy to really learn from Gabriel. And Gabriel, I would love for you, if you would be willing, to share your story with the audience of your journey as you were studying to be, I believe, a monk, and kind of the shift that happened for you.
When I was growing up, I would say I was fascinated by the faith itself, especially the Oriental Orthodox faith. Even though I was introduced to the Catholic Church because my mother is Catholic, and the Catholics are the majority of Christians in Iraq. However, I wanted, sometime in my life, I wanted to be a monk and live isolated from society, just praying, reading scriptures, saying hymns, performing rituals, all these kind of things. But I had an incident, I would call it. I had one in my life that changed it dramatically. 2010, I think the 31st of October 2010, and this is how I even decided to come to the States and change my whole life, basically. And this incident was, I was going to a church where I got one of the priests over there, Father Ta'al. He was my spiritual leader. I wouldn't call it leader, but my spiritual reference. And so because of this, we had a really good bond, really special relationship. So I was going actually to attend one of his masses. I wasn't in Baghdad at that time, so he didn't know. I wanted to surprise him. And on my way, I was in north of Iraq, in Erbil. I was going to Baghdad, which is in the middle, in the center of Iraq today. And I had a flat tire. So we stopped for like half an hour, plus or minus, to fix the flat tire. And of course, at that time, I didn't know God's plan for me. So I was really frustrated. I was really pissed. because of it. And I knew that I would get to the mass a little late, and I didn't want to do this actually, but when I got there, some members of ISIS, they entered the church maybe a few minutes before I would get there actually, and they killed most of the believers over there, most of the people. They killed Father Tha'a and another father, Father Wasim, of course, and a third father, an elder one. He got really injured. I lost a lot of friends, and of course I lost Father Tha'a. And I was basically saved, if I may to say this, because of the flat tire itself. Otherwise, I was supposed to be one of the people who were in the mass at that time, and you never know, maybe I would be dead by now.
Wow.
So after that, I mean, I decided to leave Iraq and come to the States and start a new life. And once I came here, I immediately, I came almost at the end of July 2011, and after like 2-3 weeks, I started at the community college. It was Paradise Valley Community College, and I wanted to do religious studies, so I would not go far from being a monk. You know, from theology to academy. That's the only shift that happened, and I'm here today.
So, Gabriel, were there people or groups that were influential for you during your faith journey?
Actually, yes. When I was 18, I was still in Iraq. I was introduced to some kind of private brotherhood, I would say. It's called the Spring of Life. In Arabic, it's called Nab al-Hayat. And I became a member over there. And they had a really good impact on my life, on my faith, even though after that I left them. I became an atheist for a while. I was searching for my path, and when I came back to the faith, they welcomed me back, and until today I'm a member over there. And this group, the people, the founders, Ragad and Ghazwan, they have a really wonderful impact on my life, and they helped me grow in faith, and to be a better person, basically.
Spring of Life Brotherhood.
Yeah, Spring of Life.
Wonderful.
Yeah, referring to Jesus himself, the real Spring of Life. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I honestly, Gabriel, my faith has grown because of meeting you and learning more about, I mean, I was raised a Pentecostal preacher's daughter, but I, as you know, have made a major shift because of some experiences that I've had and have become a Christian in ways that I didn't even know existed, you know. And I feel like even with the Orthodox teachings that you have shared with me, and that I've now sort of started exploring, I feel like I've been handed like keys to a magical kingdom that I didn't even know existed. And it is overwhelming and so beautiful. So what would you say is one thing that you would like to share that comes from your tradition that you think is extremely inspiring and transformative, and just something that maybe that has been really helpful to you in your walk as you're following Christ?
Oh, that's a deep one. I would say the power of love. I mean, love is the root. If we want to imagine it like this, love is the root, and everything else, peace, quality, human rights, whatever you name it, they are all the fruits of this root, of this tree, actually. So the power of love and the tradition you find in the Oriental Orthodox Church, that this thing was taken from Jesus to the disciples, to the first fathers, and so on. And what you have today is exactly what Jesus did or what Jesus said 2,000 years ago, and you understand the verses the way that Jesus explained it, or the disciples explained it, or the very first Father explained it.
Wow.
So you feel this intimacy that,
Yes.
I mean, there's no this gap in history. What
Right.
what they were doing is what we are doing today.
Right.
Maybe the rituals, of course, plus minus, most of them are symbolics. Like the scents, the candles, these kind of things. The clothes, the icons. But at the very end, they got historical significance, historical meaning, historical impact on the beliefs, and yes, they can actually create this environment where you feel that you're in the presence of God.
How would you describe that idea of love from your tradition? Like, is there any words that would describe that feeling, that emotion, that of God's love? Or
we would say the Trinity, the lover, the beloved, and love itself.
Okay.
So, and God created not because He needs us, not because He wants to see His power, or He needs to prove anything, but merely out of love He created us. And this is why we are creatures of love. We are the sons and daughters of love. We would see this
beautiful.
Ourselves. And yeah, I mean, that was, at least I would say, the main purpose of creation.
Yeah.
Without the interference of our free will.
Wow.
Yeah. So without love, I mean, even today, if you see, from a material perspective or psychological perspective, all the problems that we have today is either the mistreat of or mispresenting of love, or the lack of love. It has to be related to love somehow.
That's fascinating.
So
even materialism, right?
Even materialism,
yeah.
Because why would you? For instance, why would you kill because you hate somebody? And hate is just a feeling. It's the other coin of love. And if you can transform this hate to love, then you would not kill. You would steal because somebody you care about is hungry. So because you love somebody, you're still. It's always related, and I'm not giving justification for stealing or killing or anything like this. But eventually, because of love, even you're being an egoistic or narcissistic person because you love yourself, a wrong love. Right. So not every love is a right love. So it's always related to love, whether it's psychologically or in a material kind of context.
Oh wow, yeah. That's powerful and that's deep. I'll be contemplating that for a little while. So Gabriel, if you would you look into the camera right up in here and just encourage someone today that might be watching this with anything that you want to share?
The very first thing I would say, pray. Prayer is a really powerful tool that you can communicate with God for free. There's no taxes on it. So, and He's always there for you. So, I mean, I always imagine this, that God is waiting for us to go so He can put us on His lap. He can tell us a story. He can play with our hair, just like exactly how you treat your child, So He's always waiting for us to get out of our playing room, and go and talk to Him. Pray. I would always say pray, and use logic, use logos to read and examine scriptures. Don't take anything granted. There are a few verses in the New Testament I would love to share if you don't mind.
Sure, yes, please.
So in John 5:39, Jesus talking to the disciples and obviously other people, he said, you study the scriptures, and in another translation, he said, you search the scriptures. So studying and searching scriptures. It's not taking things by faith. And that's faith, taking things by faith based on knowledge. This is what the Christian faith is all about. A lot of people today, unfortunately, they go and get things by blind faith. In philosophy, it's called fideism. That the faith that's based on nothing. You just do something because you're just doing it, but you don't actually know why you're doing it. So you got the first epistle of John 4:1. He says, test the spirits also. So you have testing, you have reading, you have searching, and you have studying. And also Paul in the first Thessalonians 5:21, he said, test everything. So in the Bible, as you can see, especially in the New Testament, nothing is taken for granted. You have to search. There is always, like, a lot of people hate the word doubt, but there's positive doubt and there's negative doubt. Go with the positive doubt. Search with the intention of finding the truth. Doubt for the intention of finding the truth. Use critical thinking, as I said. Use your logos, which is the base of basically the base of our faith is logos itself.
Right.
So just pray and use your critical thinking, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Amen. Is there anything else you would like to share? That's beautiful.
Thank you so much. I hope we can always do something for the community in general.
Yes.
Whether Christian or non-Christian community, because we're all brothers and sisters in humanity.
Yes.
And God bless you all.
God bless you in Jesus' name.
Thank you.